Hi guys, welcome back. What I've learned from building my own side hustles with Python is that you really don't need to be a Python expert to make additional cash with programming. For example, back when I first started learning pandas in Python, I compiled several pandas tricks and I published them in 3 blogs. And these 3 pieces earned me over $300. So whether you're a beginner on your coding journey or you are a more experienced coder already, it doesn't matter. To generate extra income, you just need the Python coding basics and the right amount of confidence with a growth mentality. Actually, most people practice to be a well-rounded Python developers while getting paid. That being said, it doesn't mean that every gig's work. The key is to find your own uniqueness, find your niche, and this is what we're going to talk about in this video. So I will go over 5 of my most practical ways to earn some cash with Python outside of your work. And I promise this won't be those traditional ways that you hear a lot from other people. So let's get started. So the first side hustle idea is to sell Python code snippets. When you get deeply involved in the programming world, it can come as a surprise when you realize that not everyone knows how to code. And what's even more surprising is that people are more willing to purchase code instead of learning and writing their own. So this is where you can provide expertise by simply selling Python code snippets. This works theoretically because code snippets are essentially digital products that you own, and of course you have the right to sell it. But practically, in order for this gig to work, the trick here is to write code that people can't find elsewhere. So for example, Pandas code snippets for data analysis can be found for free and probably won't bring you a lot of additional cash. But highly specialized code snippets are in high demand, particularly those target a specific industry. So one of the most sought after ideas is to extract useful information from text. For example, in the healthcare and insurance industry, it's been a huge trend to analyze electronic health records. Essentially, they're free-form text containing details of patient conditions. Although being a hot trend right now, not every healthcare company or medical professionals has the capability of working with those test data. Because of this need, people charge over $85 to $100 for a code snippet doing text extraction or summarization in Python. In contrast, more generic Python snippets are priced much lower, so creating and selling domain-specific code could bring lots of bang for its buck. Now, when it comes to places where you can sell your code, PCSX, Sell Codes, and GateMarket are great ones. In fact, they are also fun to explore to get some inspiration. And now, next side hustle idea is building a dashboard as a service, or DaaS. Nowadays, as more and more companies are jumping on the bandwagon of data-driven decision-making, analytics dashboards are what they're looking for. So creating and selling data-driven dashboards as a service is a great side gig idea. So basically, these dashboards can be accessed by your client via a monthly or yearly subscription. This is a more evolved service where you will be working closely with a client to develop and maintain a dashboard. So most of the time, this kind of dashboard provides easy to understand information in a timely manner, so it doesn't really hard to build at all. As a developer, you would work as a contractor to entail a hands-on approach. Besides building the dashboard itself, you are likely to be involved in other maintenance activities like fixing bugs or updating data and so on. Now comes the most important question: how much can you earn from this gig, right? Well, depending on the complexity of the dashboards, people earn at a minimum of $30 to $900 per piece. So this gig is great because you are getting paid while practicing coding visualizations with Python. The next idea related to DaaS is being a Python freelancer. I'm not talking about a regular Python freelancer, but an automation developer. From my own experience, offering automation services is one of the best ways to get noticed by your potential clients. So to give you some food for thought, personally, I've been involved in several automation projects, and I do think that they offer an insane amount of value. So basically, automation with Python is to build tools that automatically do tasks like a human would. This automation tool could be as simple as downloading YouTube videos in bulk or removing the background from a bunch of photos. And this automation tool could also be something more complex, like sending out emails at a certain time every single day, or generating routine business reports. The trick to successfully make money is to build and sell automation tools that could simplify your customers' pain points. For example, in one of my previous automation projects, the client wanted a tool to reading all the files from a folder and then calculate some summary level statistics like means or sums, and finally save the output to an Excel spreadsheet. It was that simple, and he offered me $600 to get it done. Because with this automation tool, he didn't have to open up each and every single file manually to get all the data together. So in order for freelancing with Python to work, I wouldn't bother coming up with any fancy ideas that could potentially change the world. I would just find my niche to help people solve their day-to-day problems. Now, in terms of places where you can find work, websites like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer are highest paid platforms to find clients for your automation services. And next up, I want to briefly touch on is that if you have a creative mind, you can create art to sell as NFTs. I'm sure you've heard of NFTs, and it's probably one of the top buzzwords in the past couple of years. Essentially, it's a one-of-a-kind art or music that can be bought and sold like other pieces of property. And you can use Python to create NFTs and make money out of it. Personally, I haven't done this gig, but I think it's worth bringing up, especially if you are an experienced coder and you have some knowledge about GAN. Now, last but certainly not least is to write technical blogs with Python. Now, for those of you who are passionate about programming and you want to share your knowledge with others, you may consider starting blogging about Python. Really, this is the main way I've made revenue outside of my job. And trust me, it's easier than you think. Honestly, I found that I wouldn't make a damn if I was focusing on more complex technical aspects. From my experience, readers love articles that are lighthearted and articles that offer something they can take home right away. So for example, I wrote a short blog introducing new features in Python 3.11, and I made over $400 out of that single blog. And also in my other blog, I was advocating several Python libraries for natural language processing, and I made $300 from that single piece. So do you see the secret sauce here? You don't really need to write about advanced Python topics. One of the best ways to start is to write about Python tips and tricks you have just learned, or you can also write about Python best practices, just like you are sharing Python coding knowledge with your friends. Now onto the platforms. The one I publish my articles is Medium. Besides Medium, there are a bunch of other great platforms that you can publish your articles. So for example, Airbyte offers $900 for a blog about analytics and programming. That's it for this video, guys. I hope this plug and play ideas have given you some inspiration to start making extra cash with Python. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you will get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys pretty soon in my next video. Bye, guys.